What exactly are you doing to your brain when you drink alcohol or coffee? Some people believe alcohol just makes you drunk for a short period of time and coffee will make you energized for that short period of time. But in reality, it has long-term damaging effects on the brain. In this video, we'll explain the effects of long-term alcohol and caffeine use on the human brain. So, how exactly does alcohol affect the brain? Well, alcohol acts on the nerve cells of the brain and disrupts the communication between nerve cells and other cells of the body. Alcohol does this by altering the actions of two major neurotransmitters in the brain. Neurotransmitters are chemical messages which enable nerve cells to talk to each other and to other cells in the body. Alcohol suppresses the activities of certain nerve pathways, eventually making a person appear sluggish, lethargic, and slow-moving. While research tells us alcohol can damage the developing brain, it is not clear how much alcohol it takes to do this. For these reasons, there are age restrictions on alcohol as it has damaging effects on a developing brain. Alcohol affects many parts of the brain and as a result has many different effects on other parts of the body. In particular, it has dramatic effects on the hippocampus and the prefrontal lobe. The hippocampus is responsible for memory and learning. Studies of adolescents show that heavy and extended alcohol use is associated with a 10% reduction in size of the hippocampus. It also shows the function of the hippocampus is uniquely sensitive to alcohol at this time, and the alcohol may be poisonous to the nerve cells of the hippocampus, causing them to be damaged or destroyed. The prefrontal lobe, on the other hand, is important for planning, judgment, decision-making, impulse control, and language. This area of the brain changes the most during teenage years. Research with heavy drinking adolescents show that these young people have smaller prefrontal lobes than young people of the same age who don't drink. The body of research about the effects of alcohol on the developing brain is still growing. Studies have shown physical changes in the brain and evidence of impaired problem solving and other cognitive functions resulting from young people's alcohol use. It is well known that young people who do drink in Australia, the number who experience alcohol-related problems is high. Studies of these young people have shown significant and detrimental changes in brain development compared to their non-alcohol using peers. In turn, these effects lead to symptoms such as slurred speech, poor muscle control and judgment, confusion, slower reaction time, blurred vision, poor coordination, sleep disruption, and others.
In recent years, a new and uprising trend have attracted the adolescent population: coffee. Young people are currently the fastest growing population of coffee drinkers. What is it that makes coffee so popular? What is the effects that it could have on the brain? In order to answer these questions, we will need to explore the substance that is found inside coffee and is making coffee popular. Caffeine, also known to scientists as 1,3,7-trimethylxanthine, is a stimulant drug that is naturally found in leaves and fruits of certain plants. A stimulant drug is a drug that acts on the central nervous system and temporarily increases the consumer's alertness, attention, and energy, as well as elevate blood pressure, heart rate, and respiration. This addictive drug can be found in foods and beverages such as coffee, chocolate bars, energy bars, soft drinks, and etc. Caffeine is one of the world's most widely consumed psychoactive drug. But how do caffeine work? Basically, caffeine tricks your brain into thinking that you are not tired. Caffeine is similar in structure to naturally occurring molecules in the brain called adenosine, as is shown in the picture. These molecules bind to the receptors and causes drowsiness by slowing down nerve cell activity. But when caffeine is consumed, the cells cannot sense adenosine anymore because the caffeine is taking up all the receptors adenosine binds to. So instead of slowing down the adenosine level, the cell speeds up. With caffeine blocking the adenosine, you have increased neuron activity in the brain. The pituitary gland sees all of the activity and thinks that there is some sort of emergency happening, so it releases hormones that tells the adrenal glands to produce adrenaline. Adrenaline, also known as the fight or flight hormone, has a numerous effect on the body. Adrenaline is responsible for making the heart beats faster, makes the liver release more sugar into the bloodstream for extra energy, and tenses up the muscle so it is ready for action. This explains why after consuming a big cup of coffee, your hands get cold, your muscles tense up, and you can feel your heartbeat increasing. With long-term use of caffeine, your brain responds by creating more adenosine receptors, so it would take more caffeine to keep us awake. This was proven so in a study done on rats. Having more adenosine receptors also means you will need more caffeine to get that feeling of wakefulness and increased focus. So how much is too much? Well, scientists believe that up to 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is roughly an equivalent to 4 cups of coffee, is safe for most healthy adults. Once you start consuming more than 500 milligrams, caffeine can cause dehydration, muscle tremors, abnormal heart rhythms, upset stomach, nervousness, and dizziness, according to the Mayo Clinic. Even at moderate doses, it can also make falling or staying asleep difficult, an effect that could fuel caffeine binging the next day. And trying to quit immediately is hard. People experience caffeine deprivation headaches, likely caused by changes in blood flow to the brain once caffeine intake wanes, along other symptoms of withdrawal like fatigue, irritability, nervousness, and nausea. The best way to withdraw is to reduce the caffeine consumption every day, so you don't take in the withdrawal effects all at once. In conclusion, alcohol and caffeine can cause long-term health risks as they can both damage and inhibit parts of the brain, which in turn affects other body functions. As they may be addictive, we should deeply take into consideration of what we'll be putting our bodies through and try to stop or reduce the amount we are consuming. Thank you for watching.